So we now know what the law requires. But what happens when a landlord ignores all of it? What happens when the locks have already been changed? What happens when your belongings are already outside, beaten by the rain and the sun? What can you do? What evidence do you need? And what mistakes can destroy your case before it even starts? That's exactly what we're covering in part 2. Let's go back to my client, the one I mentioned in part 1. Remember him? The one who got a call telling him that his landlord had entered the apartment, moved his belongings onto the balcony, and changed the locks. Imagine receiving that phone call. You're still paying rent. Your belongings are still inside, and suddenly you're locked out. The question is not whether you're angry. Anybody would be angry. The question is this: what should you do next? Many landlords are surprised when I tell them this. Owning the property does not mean you can ignore the legal process. A landlord cannot simply decide that enough is enough and take possession of his premises. Not legally, not without consequences. In law, this is often called self-help eviction, and courts generally do not like self-help eviction. Some common examples of self-help eviction can include changing the locks, removing doors, removing windows, disconnecting electricity, throwing belongings outside, harassing a tenant, entering without proper authority. These aren't technicalities. They are actions that can create legal liability. And what should you do when this happens? This is the part most people get wrong. When something like this happens, emotions take over. People want to react. They want to argue. They want to fight. They want to force their way back into their apartment. My advice to you is this: don't. Don't do that. Instead, document everything. I mean, everything. Photographs, videos, voice notes, messages, call logs, screenshots, the whole 9 yards. Evidence gathered in the first hour can be worth 10 times more than evidence gathered a week later. The next thing you should do is make a police report. Get a reference number. Create an official record. If nothing else happens immediately, just create the record. It may come in handy later. Step 3. Speak to a lawyer. The sooner, the better, because legal options become harder to pursue when evidence begins to disappear. And if you only remember one thing from this episode, let it be this: document before you react. Document before you argue. Document before you post anything on social media. Document before you retaliate. Because the law can only work with what you give it. Give it good and credible evidence. If this video helped you understand your rights either as a landlord or as a tenant, subscribe to Goga's Brief. Everyday law for every Nigerian. I'm Goga, and I'll see you in the next one.